I have no idea. Okay, let's go back to it. Next question, or next problem.
This is difficult.
Yes, it is. But it's doable, right? It is difficult, but it's doable. There are rules, and there are always rules. You get a job in a child care agency, right? You got rules, right?
Yes.
And are they difficult to remember sometimes? Probably. But you get used to
This
them.
class, I thought it was going to be easy.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry. You don't get any. I told you when you came in, this
Because I
is the
saw you,
second,
like, that's a teacher I want.
second
That's it,
hardest
something.
program at Midstate, and the classes are going to be easy? How does that track? Questions? All right, let me guide you. In the practice sheet, where did that go? Here it is. I do some of these things. All right, let me see if I can get both of them on the screen at approximately the same time here. Not what I ask you to do.
Are any of your children programmers?
No.
Makes sense.
In here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 different variables. All right. To visualize this, I'm going to insert a table here real quick with 5 columns and 2 rows. And in the columns, I'm going to put the variable names, int var1. I know that's an integer. How do I know? Because I finally gave it a decent name. Instead of x, I said int var. Oh, cool, it's an integer. Int var2. You can do this on a scratch paper, right? Just make a column with the names and then underneath put numbers when we get into this here. And I have an int var3, and I have a dbl result, and I have an int result. Those commands immediately put a 10 in here, a 5 in here, and a 3 in there. What do they put in double and int? Nothing. So what's in there? Garbage. Till we put something in there, which is what the next group of commands do. Now this is not a program. These are just individual statements. This is not a program that you flow through on. And even if you did, I'm changing the same variables over and over and over again. Okay. So here, this will help me keep my numbers straight. This says 1 mod 2, so that's 10 mod 5. 10 mod 5, that's 5 into 10. So the answer is 2, right?
No.
You with us, Kai?
Yes.
0?
Yes.
Good. Then the next one says 5 mod 10. Now we flip it around. Well, that's a cool set of questions. Answer is
5.
Kai?
5.
You sure? Just because Joni said it?
No, because she's right. It's the 0 thing.
All right. Because 10 doesn't go into 5, right? So what's left over? The 5. Very common mistake, though, if you don't write it out the other way, right? This is 10 mod 5. 10 goes in there 0 times. But if you're not careful, a lot of people say there's 10 left over. How can there be 10 left over if I only started with 5? Can't be. Doesn't work that way. So don't be afraid to draw this 3rd grade math thing that I showed you, just to make sure that you're doing things straight. And you can write them on the quiz. The quiz is a handwritten thing. It's not, you're not going to be doing it electronically. You can write all over the quiz, write on the back, do whatever you need to. And maybe I can help you solve what's wrong when you get stuff wrong. That's the other thing I didn't mention when people were here. The purpose of the quiz is not to aggravate you. It's to see what you've learned and then clarify what you haven't learned. So if you don't get a good grade, you're learning. That's the goal. The quiz is not going to kill you, but it can teach you things. That's much more important. All right. I guess this is kind of tricky. 2, variable 2, that's 5, divided by 10. Should be easy. I'm going to keep looking at Kai, because I'm not convinced you know this yet.
What?
That's all.
2?
What?
What?
How many times does 10 go into 5? Because that's what that says, right? 10 into 5. 0. What about the 0.5?
So then it'd be, oh, but it's, no, it'd just be 0 because it's an integer.
Good. 0 because they're integers. And as I was telling Kai before the recording started, if you're doing math on my quizzes and tests and the answers are really complicated and huge numbers and stuff, you're probably doing something wrong. Probably. I don't think the 420 we did last hour is probably about as big as my answers get. Don't hold me to that, but it's not about complicated math. It's about, do you know the order of precedence? Do you know integer division when you see it? Do you know how modulus works? Next one's the other way around. But notice what I did. That's a little tricky. Bonus for coming to this lesson and bonus for listening to the recording. What's the answer?
2.0,
Why?
because the result is double.
Oh, that was tricky. The result is a double. So I'm taking my 2, but notice these are integer divisions. So when does it turn into a double? When I stuff it in there. Not until then. So that's 10 divided by 2 is 2, period. Put it into a double. Oh, 2.0. Sum.
So,
Go ahead.
so let's just say the integer, or the int variable 2 divided by int variable 1, let's just say the answer came out to 2.5, but it, 5 gets dropped. So then in the double result, it's 2.0.
Correct. So what she said, because it probably didn't hit the recording, is what if I did, well, let's flip it around the other way. What if we did 5 divided by 10 and put that into a DBL result? Well, this is a double, so this math gets done as double. No, it's still integers. So this is still 0. Put it into a double. Cool. 0.0. 0.0. Any decimal, when you do integer division, whenever you find it, you do integer division, the answer is an integer. Period. If you then convert it to a double, you add a 0.0. I think this equation here might help illuminate some of that. Let's see, I have a double int var2. So that's 5 double. So, and this is first, right? Is it order of precedence first? I don't know what else is on there. Ooh. It's just one division. I was looking ahead. Down here things get lit string again. Man, he's vicious. Okay. Double int var2. So that really means 5.0. Why am I converting it to a double? Because I'm dividing and I don't want to lose my decimal places. So this double 5.2 divided by 10. C# says mixed math, not doing it. Fixes it. Now I'm dividing a double by a double. I get a double, and I get 0.5. So just follow along. Right? Here's one where order of precedence is a player, right? Int var1, 10, plus int var2, 5, divided by int var3, and 3 is still 3. Ew, 5 divided by 3, that's like 2.66666666. No, it's not. It's what?
Oh, 2.
No. Now you're having math issues. 5, how many times does 3 go into 5?
Once.
Once. Once. Add that 1 to the 10, answer is 11.
Can we look at number 8 on the worksheet?
On the worksheet.
Yeah, I had a question. For the value of y, I spoke with
Okay, this is a different kind of problem. Hang on a second.
Yeah, sorry. It's
No, it's all right. I want to get here, but I want to make sure that I've covered all the interesting things here. I think so. And here's another one that does, let's do that one. That's worksheet 1. And if you still have questions, I'll be glad to go through number 8. Right? Here I'm basically asking for the same thing, right? Here's a bunch of variables. What are the final values of A, B, C, and D? Here they're all doubles though. That's no fun. That's all right. They're all doubles. So I have A, B, C, and D. Stupid names, but they work. A, B, C, and D. Ignore the capitalization, I just don't want to turn it off. And A, and now we write now this is a little program. These are not individual commands, this is a little program. First thing, what's in these right now after line 1? Nothing, garbage. A becomes 0. B becomes 15. C becomes 5. Then we have an equation that says A equals A, which is 0, plus 10. So the answer is 10. That goes into A, so the 0 that used to be there is now gone. I've gotten some answers where I get 6 numbers with commas in between. One memory location has one value at a time. The old 0 is now gone forever. The next command says A plus equals 10. And I kind of said that what that means is just add 10 to whatever's in A. Right? 20. These two are identical. They do exactly the same thing, but there's 2 of them, so it gets done twice. They do exactly the same thing. Take whatever's in A, add 10 to it, put it into A. Add 10 to whatever's in A. Does the same thing. It's just 2 different ways of saying it. These are the shortcut operators that are on my list of things to check out as well. Now the next equation, that's a little uglier. D equals A times B divided by C. Okay, and I know what A is. A is 20 times B is 15 divided by C. Oh man, that Volker, he lied already. Look at that, 20 times 15. If you want a calculator for that, do it. Just to be safe. Right? But what does it do first? Divide and get 60, right? No, that's because your brain does that. You guys are already getting pretty good at this. Your brain says, ooh, that's 3 times 20 is 60. Careful. Order of precedence says do this first. 300 divided by 5, still 60. So in this case, you'd be lucky if you did it backwards and still get the right answer. Doesn't always work out that way. Answer is 60. So D is now 60. And notice I'm using my little table or the grid. I used to draw them on the board. You can draw them on a piece of paper. I keep updating these values as I go because at the end I'm supposed to type them in. Now it says change B. Okay. B equals Math Pow A2. What does that mean?
A to the second power.
A to the second power, meaning A times A, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Joni?
Yes.
Good? Okay. Jess hasn't said a word yet. I'm getting ready to pick on you. Get ready. All right, so A times A, that's 400.
Hey, she gets M&Ms all the time. She doesn't have to worry.
She's still here, isn't she? And then finally, we're changing C equals whatever C is now, 5 mod B, 400. Oh, Volker, you said easy. It's easy math. Isn't it? Because that means 5 divided by 400. How many times 400 go in there? None. What's left over? 400 can't be 5. If this was some ugly number, I did it in class, right? The answer is? The answer is 5. Because there's no way that big, huge monster number goes into 5, so a 5 has to be 5 left over. It's not on the quiz, I promise. These big, ugly numbers scare people and their brain
Can't use
freezes.
a calculator, by the way.
Yeah, and your brain, and what
It's
does
not
the
bad,
calculator
but
tell
can
you?
always use a scratch paper.
Yeah, what does the calculator tell you? 5. If your calculator can do modulus. So at the end here, I would say A equals 20, B equals 400, C equals 5, D equals 60. Whatever the final values are. I don't care what the interim values were.
I get the modulus, but how do you use a modulus on a calculator?
In a calculator, some calculators have a modulus function built in.
Right?
If it, and then how do you use it? I'm glad you don't know, because I'd rather you didn't. That's what I don't want you to use the calculator
Well,
for,
I
is
mean, I
modulus.
get it easier this way, but I don't know how to put
Good.
it in a calculator.
But why would, if you get it this way, you won't need it in your calculator. Next.
I guess.
No, so back to number 8 though, like it
Okay.
just asks for the x or the value of x and then same with y. So I got the x wrong.
Wait, which one are you on here?
Oh, number 8 on the worksheet.
This one here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, let me put all my letters in here. Now I got 5 of them again. What do we got? X, Y, Z, W, and T.
And then w t or double.
X, Y, Z,
W t.
W, double, T.
Double.
Double. I'm putting those doubles in there. Just help me remember. Okay, and what are their initial values to start with? Nothing. Okay,
Well,
and now we get to the first command. Yes?
oh, well, I was gonna say x is 17 now.
Not yet, not now, it's not until I hit that first command. First I gotta make my boxes. So now X is 17. Yes, because that's what the first box says. Put 17 into X, put 15 into Y. Okay. Now this says change X. Make it equal to whatever is in X plus 4 divide. Here's how I recommend you do that. Just copy the equation on the left, keep that variable, X equals, and then it's X plus Y divided by 4. So 17 plus 15 divided by 4. So that's complicated. There he goes again. He says, no, no. How many times does 4 go into 15?
Oh,
3
3 times.
times. You almost said 3.5. You're going, no, don't make me do decimals. I'm not. They're integers. 4 goes in there 3 times, add 3 to 17. X is now 20. But you got to remember to do this first. Otherwise, you get 8, right? Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an integer, so it's really.
What about the decimal places? These are integers.
So then y is just because they don't have like a y thing to plug it into, so it is just 15. See, I missed that. That was my mistake. I totally missed.
This is just 15. Why would it? This says take whatever's over here, put it in there, right?
Yeah, but they don't. They didn't have like y equals x plus divided by yeah.
This is a really easy math problem right here.
No, I was-
15. You got it now, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here, to clear up the misperceptions. If I'm teasing you and it bothers you, I apologize. That's not my goal. It's just to keep this. It's math. We hate it. We want to keep it light.
Just declares what they are, and then you can do the.
Right. If I had declared them up here, I would have said something
Basically, it
like
just says X
int
equals-
x, not capitalized like that, but int x semicolon, int y semicolon, int z semicolon. Right. Stupid names, but they work. And then double W and T. I can put them on the same line. I don't normally do that in a real program, but this isn't a real program, it's a quiz. And at that point, what's in them? Nothing, garbage, whatever you prefer. Nothing is acceptable. Back for more?
Little late, man.
Why not?
Have a seat.
Is my flash drive still there? Oh, yes.
You have to pay the.
The pig?
Pay.
No, you don't. He found it himself. We didn't
Oh.
find it. Should be able, if you logged out, you should be able to eject it.
I should be able to be fine with this.
Okay,
Or you could just donate your blood with the Red Cross.
there you go.
Yeah.
So here's the next one, x mod 3 plus 4. But this is a little mini program. So x equals x, which is now 20, mod 3 divided by 4, is that what it said? Plus 4. So this is the way I would solve those problems. Leave the variable on the left. So it'll look familiar. It's the same thing we did in your test plan, right? Leave the variable on the left and plug the numbers in on the right. Can do the same thing here. Order of precedence says I do this first. 3 goes in there 2 times or 6 times, but that's not the question. It's what's the modulus If you can't figure it out in your head, what's left over after 18, that's 2. If you can't figure it out in your head, move it up here.
Use a calculator.
20 by 3. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm subtracting that to get a remainder of 2. That's the answer that goes into our new version of x, because that's where it's going, right? X, z. Whew. Almost blew that. So now z has a value of 2. Next one, w gets changed, and it's just a number. But there's a trick in there, so let's watch for it. W equals 17 divided by 3 plus 6.5, is that what it was? Yeah. What's the trick? Wait. Kai, what's the trick?
Well,
What am I throwing? What's the devil throwing at you here?
oh, the decimal.
Nope.
Just kidding.
What do you do first?
The division.
Good. What's the answer?
5. Hold on.
It's okay. No.
2.
What?
What?
It's division,
Oh.
not modulus, division.
Oh, it's like 5 point something though, because for 17 divided by 3,
17 divided by 3. I don't want the remainder. I want, how many times does 3 go into 17?
5.
5. 5?
Because 5 times 3 15.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, you're right. Don't let me talk you out of it.
Is there
You're getting ready to change your mind, aren't you?
It's just confusing.
I'm not trying to. Why is it 5? Because they're 2 integers.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, there's a double over here, but we're not there yet. At this stage of the equation, this has precedence. That gets done first. They're integers. The answer is 5. Plus 6.5. Oh, well then, so if I was following my own advice, this is 5 plus 6.5. Answer is 11.5. So the 5 temporarily, C# does it automatically, converts it to a double. Answer is 11.5. But a lot of people took the 17 divided by 3 and I got 12 and changed decimal places.
Yeah.
Because you don't, this is the trick that he's throwing at you. That gets done first. And since they're both integers, it's integer math. And the decimal places are discarded. 11.5 goes into W.
Can you do that again, Volker? I wasn't
It's in the recording.
here.
Finally, we have this big ugly thing. Let's see if I can copy that.
So would you change x then into the double? Just
When?
what? Because it's divided by the 4.0.
If it's divided, this one here?
Yeah, 17 divided by 4.0.
17 divided by 4.0, then you get a decimal.
Yes.
Because before it does the division, let me just put it in here. 17 divided by 4.0. Before it does the division, these have to be the same type.
So it'll be
So
something.
this becomes a 17.0, and now I'm dividing in doubles and I get decimals, yes.
Basically, you can't do them unless you make the other one a bigger, a larger number.
So let's plug numbers in here. Whoops. Undo, control, shift in. Okay. This is x, which is 20. Right?
Yes.
Never changed. So that's where you got 17 from. It never, that's its initial value, but it changed a little later, or it never changed. Remember, we're following a little program here. X started at 17, but then it changed. Right? And that's important to know that it changed. And so now that's all I have. Everything else is numbers. Now it's order of precedence, right? So 20 divided by 4 is what? Yes, what? 5.0, good. plus, and don't get carried away, 15 mod 4 minus 3.5. Next step, what's that?
The mod, 15 mod 4.
Oh, I mistyped. Or didn't I? No, that's right. No, there was a 5, I mistyped. 5.0 divided by, wait a minute, jeez, be careful, Volker. See, you gotta be careful. I'm making the same mistakes hopefully you're not gonna make. There, I've converted this. I can leave the t equals, that might help me a little bit here. T equals 5. So now what has precedence? This does. 4 goes in there 3 times with 3 left over, so 3. T equals 5.0 plus 3, not 3.0. This is still integers, it's modulus. I will not give you modulus with decimals, I promise. Hold me to that. Minus 3.5. Now what has precedence left to right? But yes, it makes a difference. Because if I do this, I get minus a half, 4.5. But if I go the right direction, I get 8 minus 3 is 4.5. 3.5, excuse me. But before that gets done, technically this gets converted to a double. But there were doubles in the answer, so the answer is going to be a double. 4.5. So these are little mini programs. And then when you type in the answers, these are the numbers. You have them in your box, and I just figured out what this was 4.5. Right? You have them in your boxes, you just transfer them over here. But I recommend drawing those boxes so you can see the numbers changing, because what happened to Kai is she wrote the 17, forgot to change the other one. Every time you change X, change it. The old one goes away, the new one takes its place. So this one does the same thing. What does that mean?
W equals W plus 1.
Same thing as W equals W plus 1, but in English it means add 1 to whatever's in W. And put it in W. Replace W with whatever's in W plus 1.
Update.
Mm-hmm. Order of precedence, don't forget to do multiplication. We did most of those. This, because it's division, uses double division, right? Because now this is a double divided by an integer. This becomes a double. Divided by another integer. Okay, now you're a double. So this uses double all the way down, because I converted the very first number to a double. Technically, this division doesn't know whether it's an integer or a double division until it looks on both sides and says double integer. Okay, you're a double. Double division. Then this is a double. The answer is a double. Divided by an integer. Can't do it. Turn this into a double. Answer is a double. And double is used in every piece of that equation. What else you got? My advice is divide, do it out longhand so you can see it. And when you're doing mini programs, put them in boxes. And take your time and be careful, because you can still put the wrong letters in the wrong places if you're not careful, like I almost did. Almost changed X again when I should have been changing W. Be careful.
W one,
For the which one?
the W where it's like W plus equals one, like she was saying before. So once you do that, for the W equals X minus 2 times Y plus Z. So once you add 1 to that, you're not gonna use that again, correct? The W plus equals 1?
This one here?
Yeah.
It's the last statement in this mini program, so nothing else is going to change it.
Okay.
But if I put that first,
Then you'd have to use it every
That
time.
declares that that's the first.
first of all, if I put it first, I'd get an error because there's nothing in W and you're adding 1 to it. You might go, that's 1. Oh no. It's a syntax error. C# won't let you do it. Remember, I saying it's okay for you to think there's nothing in there. But you can't do math with nothing.
But for the Z equals W minus X, I wouldn't have to add 1 to that. That's just whatever.
No, because you do these sequentially,
Okay.
one at a time. So at this point, what's in W, whatever that turned out to be, big ugly equation. That's what's in W. The next command says take whatever's in W and subtract whatever's in X. Put that in Z. W plus equals 1 does not change the Z, it only changes the W. You can only change one variable at a time. Kai, before you leave, I want to see your answers to those. Just want to see.
Oh, for those? Okay.
No more questions.
I
Tim.
guess, 5C then, because it kind of relates to what we're talking about right now. You could write that in 2 different ways then.
Very good. Yes, give me one.
Yeah, so like in this case, I don't know, I wrote X equals X plus 5, or you could add that.
Or that's 1. X equals X plus 5. Correct.
Yeah.
If you want to be really correct, put a semicolon on it. But I'll be real happy to see the X equals X plus 5. So what's the other version?
The X plus equals 5 semicolon.
Very good. X plus equals 5 semicolon. Just repeating it for the recording. Either one is correct. But there are no other versions. What if I said add 1 to X? Then you could do W plus plus, right? Or W plus equals 1. Or W equals W plus 1. All three do exactly the same thing. The plus plus, though, adds 1. So you can't do it to add 5. You can't use it to add 5. You can't put like 5 plus signs in a row and say that'll do it. Good. If you don't have anything else, I'll stop. Still haven't picked on Jess. Got all your questions answered. Right? Or are you just here to make sure I don't lie to them? I could, yeah, keep an eye on me. All right. Go home, practice. Do the sheets a couple more times or something to make sure that this stuff is clear.